So I recently purchased this item, this head-up display for £18.33, give or take £20 I guess. Never tried anything like this before. As you can see, it was £22, but there was some discount at the time. But I thought I'd give it a go, install it, see if it's any good. And I thought I'd film the process so you can make up your own mind whether this is something that would work for you. It seems to have a number of functions. I'm not sure I'm overly interested in all those functions. I just simply want to see the speed that the car's doing at any given moment in time. It looks, I mean, if it displays as good as that once installed, I'll be pretty happy. So I'm going to go ahead and order this. It'll arrive in 2-3 days, and then I'm going to film the best I can the installation process, hopefully giving you enough information to work out whether it's something that could work for you. Okay, I will resume filming once the item arrives. So unfortunately I forgot to do an unpacking video of the item once it arrived, but it came in a box with the item itself that you see in front of you and the cable. The cable I think is probably about 1.5 meters, maybe even 2 meters, I don't remember properly, probably 1.5 meters. It also had an anti-reflective film which I will show you when it comes to install. There wasn't much to see, but unfortunately I forgot to do the unboxing video. So this is the car where we're going to install the head-up display. It's a Ford Ka. Nothing particularly special about the car, but it's I thought it was a car to give it a go on. So you've seen the unit that we're installing. It plugs in under here, and the wire will run. If I can get a zoomed out shot along the side, up here, around there, and it will go in between the window screen and dashboard, right at the back there. So I'm going to put the unit in place now, just to show you where it's going to be placed. You may want to place it somewhere different. I've just thought this is probably, in this vehicle, it will look reasonable. I didn't want it to look too far out of place. It didn't want to look like someone stuck something on the dashboard with a piece of wire hanging out and it looks like a temporary thing. I wanted to make it look as much as possible like something that's supposed to be there. So let me now show you the unit in place. So here we go, here's the unit. Hoping to put it around there somewhere. So as I said, the wiring will run down between the window screen and the dashboard, right in that little crevice all the way along. I've started to put the wiring, as you can see. I need to push it all the way through to here. And the idea was that we could put the unit right here, and then from here to here we'd have some sort of plastic channel running to disguise the wire or to hide the wire the best we can. And even for this unit, it comes with a sticky pad that you stick under it so that it stays in place. But I'm thinking of making a little plastic unit for it to be housed in, just to try and make it look a little bit more like it is supposed to be there. The way I'll do that by measuring the unit up and creating a 3D model and running it off on the 3D printer. But for now, you'll see the cables in place at least. We've run it, as I was saying before, down here, and I'm just going to take you all the way down to where it plugs in, and hopefully you can see what we've done. There we go, that's where it plugs in. On this car it's relatively simple. The port isn't hidden away somewhere, it's nice, easily accessible. So it plugs directly into there, wire runs along. Let's just zoom out a little bit so you can see a bit better. You probably won't be able to see what it's running because it's hidden away, but essentially it's running all the way down in the side and up through there, back as I said, up to here. That's really straightforward. I think anyone can do that. What I'm about to do, the 3D printed thing, is not necessary. It's just to try and hide the wire away the best I possibly can. Finding a suitable position for this is not easy, because what you're trying to do is get the right distance away from the window screen, such that the HUD display is in about the right location on the window screen. You don't want it too far down there, and you don't want it in the middle of the screen. So I could put this all the way here, like that, where you wouldn't have to bother hiding the wire away, because, well,
you wouldn't see the wire really. But then the display is going to be right down towards the bottom of the window screen, which I don't want. It needs to be displaying about here-ish on the window screen. So therefore I'm going to have to pull it back, which is what I've done there. So it means then obviously this much wire from here to here will be exposed, and that's what I'm trying to cover up. So I'm going to go away and design something now. I'll show you the design once I've done it, and then we'll go ahead and print it and see if the whole thing comes together.
Okay, so this is what I've designed. It's it's on Fusion 360. This bit here is oops, you don't want that. Let's flip the thing around so you'll see. Firstly, let's just switch something off here. We don't need that on. That. Okay, this will be where the unit itself will be based, it will be sat. So I've made a housing for the actual the HUD unit itself. This what you're seeing here, not that one, this one, is the channel to run the wire all the way to the window screen. So if that prints well, that's what we're going to install to house the unit and the wire. Now the current concern I've got here is I've just realised that the window screen can get the heat from the window screen can be pretty significant, and the plastic can soften because of that. Because typically the plastic I'd be using on a 3D printer would be PLA, and PLA doesn't really take the heat so well. It won't melt it as such, but it will soften it. So I'm now playing around with ideas on how to manage that. I'm thinking maybe if I print an ABS that'd be better, but ABS is quite tricky to print with, so I'm going to play around a little bit and see what comes of playing with different plastics. Okay, so we have got all the components now. This is the unit itself, which you're familiar with hopefully. This is the printed housing, and this is the trunking for the wire. So they'll go into there, hopefully you can see. That'll slot into there, and I'll put the sticky pad underneath in preparation for sticking it into place on the dashboard. Now, as I said before, this is not necessary. This is just additional stuff that I've done. I'm not sure how well it will work. We're about to find out. So I'm going to go ahead and install this. I won't film the installation, it's straightforward because it's just sticking it into place, but once it's done, I'll show you a view of it all in place. Okay, so I've got the unit in place. You can see the holder as well as the wire guide channel, call it what you want thing, in place. It's looking pretty good, I think. Let me just fire it up so you can see what it looks like. I haven't yet installed. So on the screen here, we've got to put a reflector. So when you install your head-up display unit, what you'll find is that on most modern window screens, the screen's laminated, so you'll get a reflection, almost like double vision. I'll try and capture that when I turn the car on now, and you'll see what I mean. And hopefully you can see it coming on there on the screen. It's slight double vision. It's not terrible, I mean, you can certainly read it. But to get around that problem, they give you a little anti-reflection type plastic film that you stick on. I haven't put that on yet, I will do shortly. But hopefully you can at least see it displaying on the window screen there. I'm going to show you from outside how it looks too, because I wanted it to look like a part of the car, something that came as standard, as much as I could. I mean, there's an ugly black box stuck right there. That's never going to be perfect, but it's better than wires all over the place. So I'm going to show you from outside. So hopefully you can see through the window screen what it looks like there. You can see it from outside, but not from a distance. From here you can see nothing. The reflective thing that you're seeing there is the reflection panel that comes with it, so that you can see the display when sat in the car without the double vision, which I was showing you before. Close up you can hardly tell it's there, but you can see the whole thing installed now with the housing and the channel, the wire guide channel thing that I put in place. So yeah, I think it's quite a nice job. Again from inside, looking from inside now with the reflective panel thing in place, you can see quite nicely there. It's quite a nice field of vision in that it falls in your field of vision nicely, as opposed to being right in your face. So if I'm sat here, it's not right in front of me, it's not here, which often it is found, but I kind of like it there because you can glance to the left whenever you want, without having to take your eyes off the road and without it being distracting in front of you. It's my preference. People perhaps want it right in the middle, wherever, but this seems to work quite well. And if I hit the accelerator, you'll see the revs going up with the white lines, and if I move back and forth, you'd see the miles per hour going up. I don't know how well it's calibrated. I'll learn that when I start using it, but I did move it back and forth a little bit. It seemed to be behaving as it should, but I really know when it's out on the road. But at the moment, as far as I can tell, it's very good for what this cost, which is I think about £20. It's absolutely fantastic for what it can do, and relatively an easy install. So highly recommended. I'll do a follow-up video if I find that it isn't behaving in the way that it ought to, but hopefully it will. Any questions, give me a shout. The little plastic housing with the wire guide thing, if you're interested in that and you get in touch, I can send you the files for 3D printing should you wish to, and you don't need it, it's just an additional thing. But if you want to print one of these things off and you've got a print and you know what you're doing, give me a shout. Hopefully I'll be able to help you out. Okay, that's it from me. Okay, well, that's not it. I decided to do a little bit more. I felt it a little unfair to go through all that process and of the installation and not actually show you the unit in use. As you can see, I'm driving along. It's nice, brightly showing on my screen there. The calibration seems to be spot on. I'm doing 30 on my speedo. It's reading 30 on 30 on the screen, on the heads up, which is brilliant. Oops, I tried to show you my speedo, but I can't. It's knocked the focus right out. Let me just get that sorted. There we go. Yeah, as I said, the calibration seems to be spot on. I shan't try and show you my speedo again. It knocks the focus out. What can I say? It's better than expected. I know this is my first run in it, but so long as it continues to work as it is right now, then I'd have no problems recommending this. It is very bright. Bear in mind, it's a bright, sunny day right now. If I can see it now, then I'll be able to see it any time of the day. It's I just wonder how bright it will be at night. Possibly too bright. But let's see. There is an option to turn down the brightness, so should it be too bright, that can be easily managed. Yeah, it's brilliant, really. I have a heads-up unit on another vehicle as a manufactured fit option. This feels better, to be honest. It just feels easier to read. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because the colour. I like the colour, the multicolored, and in the other car it's not multicolored. I don't think it is, at least. But anyhow, if you want to buy one, I strongly recommend it. The installation is straightforward, as you've seen. The 3D printer stuff that I did, obviously you don't have to do that. That was an extra bit. I would if I was doing the same install again, I would still do the 3D print, because I think it looks like a much more finished product, almost as if it was supposed to be a part of the car. Certainly from outside, when you look through the window screen. Looking from inside, perhaps not. But hey, £20, you know, it's brilliant. Anyhow, I just thought I'd do a quick video of it in use. I hope you liked it. As I said before, questions are welcome, and if you do buy one and you do want to give it a go installing, all I can say is best of luck. Thank you so much for watching.